Hi, it's the Brooker, that gratitude guy. It was never about baseball. People ask me all the time about gratitude and how did it keep you going? You've had some tough things happen to you in your life. And what was it about gratitude that kept you going? And I said, well, other than the obvious that if you feel grateful for things, you see everything you have in your life versus what you don't have. I often tell a story about my younger son. He had a really, really tough time struggling with baseball. And from an early age, after his mother had passed away, he just didn't seem to have the athletic ability or the patience with the game of baseball. But he stuck with it and he kept trying, but he had a hard time hitting and running and catching and throwing, and it just didn't seem to be in the cards for him. But I said, well, just stick with it. And I think what was interesting is that it finally got to a point one day where when he was about 10 years old, after struggling for 5 or 6 years, 10 or 11 years old, we had a situation come up where it was the classic example that every parent thinks about. The bases were loaded, it was the bottom of the seventh, and they were down 7-6, and there was guys on second and third. And there's 2 out, and guess who comes to bat? My son. And within a few seconds or a few minutes or so, it was a full count. And I thought, gosh, please, can we just get a walk? Can we just get hit by a bat or hit by a ball? He can go to first base, whatever. But on the next pitch, he rips it down the third base line. The guy from third comes in. The guy from second rounds third, heads for home. Here comes the ball. Here comes Connor. They both crash at the plate at the same time. The catcher drops the ball. They win the game 8-7. And actually, I said Connor. Connor was on second base, but the guy that came in from third was the winning run. The entire dugout runs out, puts my son on their shoulders, and carries him off the field. I had a lump in my throat the size of probably of a hard ball itself. But I couldn't talk for about an hour or so. But when we got home, I sat down with him and I said, it was never about baseball. It was about never giving up. And what is so interesting to me to this day, he still talks about that game, and he still talks about how grateful he is for the fact he never gave up. So whatever story or whatever situation in your life that you have that was challenging, just remember that it was never about baseball. In this case, it's always about hanging in there. And if you're grateful, looking at everything you have in your life versus everything you don't have in your life, you'll reframe and refocus completely on a better life and sticking with it. That's what gratitude can do for you. That's the message for today. Have a grateful day. Oh, and by the way, be writing that gratitude journal. And if you need one, you can pick one up at thebrooker.com. Have a grateful day. Take care.